There's been some confusion on the 10-point 4-cable system crossbows as to serving wear and string wear, especially wear on the cables themselves, because they have a tendency to be fuzzy. Now, the issue here is that we for years have been taught that if a string starts to look like it's fraying, or if it's, the serving start to look skanky, you kind of want to get rid of it and redo it. The reality is these particular bows are a little different, and we're going to go over both the cables and the center serving, show you what you're looking at, and give you some information on it. Now let's start off with the cables. In this photo, you can see that the cables are fuzzy. That is perfectly normal. That's going to happen because of the design of the cables and how tightly twisted they are. They get fuzz to them. Not a sign of failure. It's just meaning that it needs more wax or lubricant to be able to take care of it. We normally use the Scorpion Venom Rail Lubricant. Couple of swipes once a month or so on there. Really want to rub it in a little bit. It basically mats down that fuzz, takes care of it. No problem at all. If you start maintaining it and keep up with it, you don't really build up that really bad fuzz that makes it look like there's a big issue and you have to put tons of wax on it to calm it down. The other problem is the center serving. The problem with these bows here, and here's a big misunderstanding, they are double served. There's one serving going along one way and then another one on top of it going the other direction. Now, a regular string, when you have a single wound serving, if you take and you bend it and pull on it at the steep string angles these things have, you're going to get separation. You'll actually be able to see each strand separate, and there'll be a gap in between the servings, and every time you shoot, that gap increases. Well, you can't tie on a single wound serving tight enough, certainly not in mass production, to be able to hold up to that level of steep string angle. So what TenPoint did was they took and did the wound one direction with a center serving and then went the other direction. And it's a little bit looser serving. The way it works is that as the string is being compressed and the serving is being compressed, those gaps form. The top serving fills in those gaps. So you're going to get dents and compressions. Here's a photo and shows you what it looks like. This string and serving, from what we are used to seeing in the industry, is looking like it's about ready to fail. And it's not. This is what's going to look like after 20 or 30 shots. And it will stay like that for hundreds of shots more. And that's what it's designed to do, is fill in those gaps with that upper center serving. So don't go too crazy on saying, oh, my serving looks bad, I've got to get in there and put a new one on, or I got to put a new string on. And we've got people thinking, oh, you only got 35, 40, 50 shots out of these before you have to replace the strings and cables. Not true. Normal rule of thumb, if you're like most people, you shoot your bow a little bit during the summer, you hunt with it in the fall, and it spends most of its time hanging on a hook. Provided you properly maintain it, every other year, pop on strings and cables, you're good to go. If you're shooting it a lot, you may want to do it every year. Repetitive shooting, cock, shoot, cock, shoot, cock, shoot. 1,000, 12, 1,300 shots before you have to worry about it. A lot of people saying, oh, it won't last that long. Well, guess what? These bows are pulled out of a box at the ATA show, and they're shot literally 8 hours a day for 3 days in a row straight without stop, and they're not changing the strings and cables in the shooting lanes every hour or two. They're leaving them alone the whole 3 days. That's a lot of shooting, and they don't fail. So don't worry too much about what they look like. A little bit more maintenance on your cables to get rid of the fuzz, and regular rail lube on the center serving and the rail itself about every 30 shots, or it's been sitting a while. And so it looks a little compressed, a little bit dented in. It's designed to do that. That's the way it's supposed to look.